It's a blessing to welcome on the man that started off this incredible 2021 recruiting class in Michigan State. Pierre Brooks, how you doing, man?
Doing great, bro. What about you?
Pretty good. Well, let's just get into this. You've obviously had an incredible start to the year so far. It was a lot of in question if you guys were going to have a season or not. Now you're the 6-1. You're putting together a potential Mr. Michigan kind of season right now. Take us to how you're feeling so far.
I'm feeling pretty good. I started the year off pretty well. Just trying to get used to playing with mask on and just trying to gel my teammates a lot more. That one loss that we had, I think we weren't really judged as a team, but we have a big game coming up on Friday, so I'm just really looking forward to the rest of the season.
You're off to an insane year so far, averaging 35, 11 plus now. You just had a 45-point triple double right now. Take us through this past game, though. I mean, to get any kind of triple double, score 40 points is one thing. To have it all together, though, in one game is a whole nother level. What went into this game?
Just going into this game, I just really wanted to get my teammates involved, but as well look for work on my game. I would say like the game that we just had, it was more of like a step that we could work on our game and work on stuff as a team, getting everybody involved, as well as like doing stuff that we need to work on and stuff, a little bit of things out of character. As you know, like some of the bench guys wanted to get out of hand and shoot half court shots and stuff like that. So it was just had like a good bonding time, but as well as like a fun time and as well as time that we could learn on our play or work on our plays and work on our stuff that we need to work on.
Now, in the whole spectrum, we kind of talked about the announcement that came a few hours before that game came out, and that probably doesn't mean too much overall long term, but do you think that might have influenced at all kind of effort into how you play tonight?
Yeah, I saw it and yeah, I just yeah, that made me mad. But I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, it doesn't really affect long term. You posted something earlier saying that like 40 some percent do like 2 years something. It was some percentages, but
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it doesn't affect you long term. What you do in college or wherever you go, that's what determines your future. So
Absolutely. And obviously, I've always mentioned that rankings are cool. Going to McDonald's All-American, all this stuff's cool and all, but end of the day is long term. But I kind of want to ask you, I mean, you're a guy that clearly had every right to be in that kind of game. You're a guy that's easily in that mix for that conversation. But when you see yourself get snubbed or any of these different events, not being ranked as high as you probably should be, what goes through your mind though? Kind of take us through how you process that and how you handle that.
um for me as an athlete, when you see something that you don't agree with, you go try to prove people wrong, but as well as you try to self-evaluate. So you're not just gonna say, "Well, skip these people; they ain't rank me," and like you got to do some self-evaluation. Like, why? Like, what can I do to make my situation better? So, first of all, you got to like be willing to work because it's not just gonna go up for no other reason. So I think you got to work out. Like like me going into the season, like I really had like a big chip on my shoulder, and that's what I feel like players should have if they're not where they want to be at with their success level. I think they should always play with the chip on their shoulder.
That's something that Coach Izzo's talked about, coaches that have been recruiting you, high school coaches, AU coaches, that you play with that chip on your shoulder. Coach Izzo put in a great way too. I mean, you're built like a linebacker, you play like one, you're a hard worker. Take us through that mindset that you step on that court and we know you're a lot more physical than typical guys are. You have that, just that kind of it factor when you play. Take us through that a little bit.
Well, it comes from where I come from. I come from Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
so it's mainly like if you're not gonna play tough, there's no point in playing at all. So I think just me being from Detroit and being around the people that I've been around, like if you're not gonna give your hardest, you shouldn't be on the floor. So I go into every game with a chip on my shoulder with something to prove, but also willing to get others involved as well. Like not just having like, oh man, I'm about to go get 50. Like I'm gonna try to get my teammates involved as well. So
And that's what I love about you because there are some guys that go out there and they might be about themselves. They drop 40, 50-point games almost every night. And you could easily do that. We know you could easily have done that tonight instead of getting triple double or whatnot. But when you talk about that being an all-around player is why you really are a winning guy. Coach Izzo loves those type of players. So when you talk about Michigan State, you get out there next year. Take us through how you plan to accept a role. Rather, if Izzo gives you a possibly leading scoring opportunity, how would you approach that, or how would you even approach a defensive approach? Like, how do you kind of plan to adjust and take whatever Coach Izzo wants you to do next year for that team?
I would say like I would adjust to his coaching style, but I would adjust to the situation. So I wouldn't just try and go and try to be the man like right off the bat. Like you're gonna have to earn that. So like just trying to make the right plays. It all starts in practice. So just trying to do the right stuff in practice, trying to be a great teammate, a great leader, and I feel like it'll contribute to the court. But as of now, I would say like just doing whatever it takes to win on the court, like diving on the floor, rebounding, defense, like just little gritty stuff like that. And I know Coach Izzo, Michigan State, they're known for that type of play style. So I just really try to pride myself on like just not really focusing on like how to. I would say I wouldn't try to focus on like mainly just trying to be an offensive player, but try to be like an all around threat on offense and defense.
So what do you think? I mean, you're clearly talking to Coach Izzo. You've talked to the coaching staff. What did they kind of expect from you your freshman year? Like right now at this point in time, what do they see you providing and bringing to the team your freshman year?
I think they see me being like what I am right now, like coming in to score, but as well as be efficient on the defensive end. I feel like what I've been working on all summer is like trying to get to my spots where I can like not use a whole lot of dribbles. So I think like within their offense, how their offense is based, I'll say like just trying to get my move set, like just one or two dribbles. For the defensive end, they see me guarding multiple positions, 1, 2, and 3. I feel like I can guard multiple positions as well. Like I don't think they're doing it for like any type of reason. I feel like I can do that myself.
Now, I have to ask you about this too, because we know you are going to Blue Blood, one of the more established programs out there. And the big headline all this year, NCAA year, has been the Blue Bloods aren't ranked, the Blue Bloods aren't playing well. And all of a sudden, we saw about a week and a half ago, all of a sudden, everyone's been winning now. And Michigan State just had probably their win of the season. They're going over Illinois. Now they're moving up to 12-9. But you're just take us through this in terms of Michigan State, though. What was your mindset seeing the way that they were performing, obviously not up to expectations, and now kind of turning the corner and winning a couple of games straight and having the big win tonight?
This win tonight actually felt pretty good. Like every time they lost, I was pretty frustrated. Michigan State is a winning program, so I know it's something new for Coach Izzo and that coaching staff. So, like every time, like they lost, we were frustrated. Me and my family, we were frustrated. But I knew this, like coming off Indiana, I knew they were going to be in a good spot because I know Michigan State, like they're going to win. Like they're not just going to lose all year. Like we're going to get some dubs. Like. So, like, I knew, like, going into after that Indiana game, which they played really well, I knew they were going to win against Illinois. I had that confidence, and they were playing. From what I saw, they were playing really gritty, really like tough, like how they normally play. So, I knew they were going to win that game.
Ultimately, though, it is Coach Izzo, one of the greatest coaches ever to do this before, and Hall of Fame coach. What's it been like talking to him? How has your relationship grown over the past year now? How's it just like talking to him and getting to know Coach Izzo?
Coach Izzo's a great guy. When you see him like when say when you see him on campus, it's like, oh wow, that's Coach Izzo. But like we actually get to know him, and like when you get to talk to him every day, it's pretty cool. He's a great guy. He likes, I like fishing. We talked about fishing and all types of stuff, but Coach Izzo's a great guy to be around. Especially when you get to know him, he talks very highly of you. He gets to know your family very well, and also like he wants to evaluate you, like what type of person are you, what type of player are you. Like we really had some good conversations.
As you mentioned, anyone that sees Izzo for the first time or talks to them is kind of in so shock. He is that kind of legacy person. So kind of take us through your first time, the very first time he called you, you met him. What was your reaction and how'd that go down?
Actually, when the first call I got from Michigan State from Coach Stevens, I think it was in eighth grade. He's like, and he told my dad I heard that like somebody like I was the person to look out for going into the years, and then I think at the end of my ninth grade year, we went to their team camp. We went to their team camp, and Coach Izzo had we had waved and stuff like that, and we had talked and all that. And ever since then, I've been on unofficials and stuff like that. Like during the unofficial visits, when my first unofficial visit actually felt like home. When he had first talked to me, it was pretty nice. Like he asked how my family was, and hopefully you can come here and things like that. Really just being like a great role model and a great coach.
Were you kind of starstruck at all? Was it surprising? Was it crazy seeing Coach Izzo, or were you kind of normaled
Oh,
out?
most definitely. When you see it's something different when you see him on TV, but when you see him at first, oh, that's Coach Izzo. Like when you see him for the first time, it'd be like, man, you really talking to Coach Izzo. But when you really get to know him, he's a great guy.
Would you say it's kind of set into you now? Have you kind of got to that point where it's just typical, it's your coach now, or you think it's going to take to start playing there? Or when did that even happen, though, that you started feeling that this is going to be my coach and you kind of lost the starstruck kind of feeling?
I say my last unofficial visit, I went to I never actually went on any official visits to Michigan State, but I think my last unofficial visit, we had went to the football game, and I really seen what all they had to offer. I had been to multiple basketball games, and at that football game, I had talked to a lot of the players, and it felt like a real brotherhood. Like it was a real good bond. So I really felt on that last unofficial visit I had that's the place I had to be. And weighing my options and stuff, I knew that I wanted to go to Michigan State after that last unofficial visit because of the way I bonded with the coaching staff and the players.
You ultimately then narrow it down. We know Michigan, Michigan State, Xavier was that final top three for you. So at that point, did you already obviously know that Michigan State's where you wanted to go? You just were kind of seeing what the other two programs could bring to you, or when would you say kind of locked in that Michigan State was a school?
I locked it in, like I said, after that. No, not after the unofficial visit. I really locked it in after I took my visit to Xavier. I really tried to determine which school I wanted to go to, what were the pros, what were the cons. And I chose Michigan State because playing in your home state, you playing on the big stage when you first get out, and you're gonna be called upon to make great decisions and stuff like that, and you playing for a Hall of Fame coach, and it's just a whole lot of factors. It's just a whole lot of factors that go into it. You playing on the big stage, great coaching. You get great coaching going to Michigan State, great coaching that especially help you for the next level.
My last thing about Coach Izzo is when you're talking through him at the past few years now, what would you say is the most shocking thing he told you, or even maybe the most shocking personality trait he had? Like, what was the most shocking piece about Coach Izzo you've learned over the past few years now?
I found out not during games. He actually is pretty happy. Like when he's in game mode, he'll celebrate sometimes. Like I'll see him clap, or he'll throw his hands when he wants to stop or something. But when I actually get to know him, he actually is a pretty good guy. I thought he was gonna be more strict. So I would say a little more strict, but when you actually get to know him, he's actually a pretty good guy. Smiles a lot. A lot. I don't think many people. Like I think they all they see is the yelling and the screaming on TV. I don't think they really see him smiling a lot.
And we know there's that kind of trio now. There's always been this rivalry between you and Michigan, you guys in Ohio State. We just saw this past weekend 3 versus 4, which was the first time that happened, the Michigan and Ohio State rivalry. All three of you guys are loading up now. You guys are number 7 ranked class. Michigan, we know, bring a lot of headlines with number 1 recruiting class. Ohio State's up there as well. But you talk about your career. Let's say it is a 4-year career. How special will this trio of rivalries really grow to become over the next 3 or 4 years?
I think it's gonna be a great rivalry. Like you said, Michigan has the number 1 recruiting class in the nation. So and they still got guys coming back. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be like a trio. Our trio is gonna be pretty good. I feel like Michigan has a lot of key pieces like that they're bringing in. So I think that over the next couple of years, like we're gonna be going right back and forth at it, like great down to the wire games. And I know if we don't have down to the wire games, the fans are going to be on our head, especially if we don't win. Yeah, mm-hmm. The fans gonna be on our necks.
Now, Michigan was the other school in that Final 3 for you. We know Coach Juwan Howard's an incredible coach too. But how close were you ever going to Michigan? Was that ever a legit option for you, or just kind of take us through that whole path and where Michigan stood with you?
Michigan was a great option for me, but I felt like for the long run, I felt that Michigan State was gonna be a great fit for me. Michigan is a great program and great coaching staff. They just got Juwan Howard. They're doing a great job right now, but I just didn't see myself there, and Michigan State is the place I wanted to be. So they were definitely like in conversation, though, for sure, most definitely.
Now, when you talk about your own team right now, this class is special, as I said, top 10 class, and you guys possibly just look at player by player, could even be better than Michigan. Just that Michigan has, like I said, 6 or 7 guys going there. But you, Jaden, Max right now is a special big 3. Also adding Keon, maybe dual sport athlete. How special are you guys, though?
Yeah, we're pretty good. Me knowing Jaden personally, and me having played with Max before, I think our group is really special. I see Jaden is doing this thing with Sunrise. He's been having pretty good success over there, playing pretty good. And I see Max has been doing this thing in Illinois. I haven't really talked to Keon Coleman. I had sent him a DM and said, welcome to Spartan Nation, but he didn't respond. But I see he's been dropping like big numbers, so for basketball and football. So like I said, if you watching this, welcome to Spartan Nation. I sent you a DM. You ain't respond to it, but all right. But yeah, I think our group is really special though. I think we have a lot of consistent shooters that we can. I think we have a lot of consistent shooters is what I think what we can bring to the table. We can all shoot consistently. Me, Max, and Jaden, and probably Keon if he decides to. So I think we can really like make an impact right away.
Last time I had you on was about 8 months ago. Prior to Jaden committing there, and you're kind of making your pitch to him. You said you want him to come. Obviously, you guys have been close friends for a long time. Now today, we know you guys are going to team up. The duo's united. What was that moment like when he officially told you that he's going to go join you, team up with you? Just take us through your reaction, how he told you.
He didn't really tell me. I was on his head though. Like I text him every day and tell him like, "You going green, man?" Like I text him every day, like just ask him like where his head was at and things like that. But I was excited when he committed because I actually didn't think he was gonna come. But I was excited when he came because like knowing him for so long and playing with him on the EYBL circuit, I knew he was gonna be an asset for our class.
Where'd you think he was gonna go?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I forgot. I don't know. I just didn't think he was gonna come. But I was excited when he came for sure.
Now we're not quite sure when Coach Izzo gave you guys the keys. It could be freshman year, it could be sophomore, junior, even senior year that you guys could possibly take over this team. But when that time does come and you guys are two starting backcourt guys or two guys starting together, what can you two accomplish together? Like that career, and you just talk about you two and wearing that green, what could you guys do and accomplish together?
Accomplished a lot. Well, I really think our first goal is trying to win the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, like we can probably achieve anything that we want, like that 1-2 punch that we had in EYBL. So I think like we could have a good backcourt for the future. Me and Jaden.
Now we do have to discuss 2022 a little bit. We know for a while there that was at Super 5. We know that Enoch decided to move on, decommit. Emoni Bates still is there. We know reclass is an option. Who knows what else could also go down, but you possibly add in a guy like Emoni Bates now. What could he bring to this team?
Well, he's Emoni Bates. Shoot, pass, rebound. I mean, he's #1 prospect for a reason. I mean, I feel like he would be a great asset, especially 6'9", can shoot it. Mini Kevin Durant walking. So I feel like he can bring a whole lot to the table, especially with scoring and his length defensive wise.
Did you ever get a better relationship at all with Enoch, or were you guys kind of not talking too much? I kind of discuss him, and if you were shocked at all when he did decommit.
I actually talked to Enoch a couple of times, but I don't really know I didn't really know where his head was at. But I would always I'll just say like once in a while, like, hey, or something like that. Like we always like, we wouldn't always keep in contact, but like I say like, hey, or like how's the season or something like that. Just a little short little conversation.
With him moving on, that means that another spot's can open up, even possibly a couple spots depending on how transfers look and all that. But now you're kind of recruiting other guys. Is there anyone that you know on the top of your head that you would like to play alongside you when they come in 2022?
Need to get my boy Ty Rogers, man. Ty Rogers need to come to MSU. I don't know what he waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go ahead and make that move. Know what he waiting on. Emoni probably reclass up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really don't know any bigs that they're recruiting right now, so I don't know. So I'll say, like me personally, I would say Ty.
You just said something too. Emoni could very likely and possibly will probably reclass up to join you guys. Now, when we talk about going back to the Michigan class, we know they're #1, but you had a guy of Emoni's caliber alongside you guys. How do you guys not compare recruiting class wise?
Oh no, yeah, we will be up there for sure. I say like if we had him to the team, it would be a great addition.
Mm-hmm.
I say he would either be 1 or 2 on the recruiting class board because, I mean, it's like I said, it's Emoni Bates. I mean, he #1 prospect in the country, the world, whatever it is supposed to be. It's going to be a great class for us if he reclasses up and comes to play.
And the other guy you said, I'm glad you brought him up, is Ty Rogers. I'm not sure where he's ranked at. He's underrated ridiculously. I got to see him a couple of times when he came out to Arizona about a year ago. But how special is Ty Rogers?
Ty can do it all. He can shoot, rebound, plays like a guard. Last time I saw him, he grew. He looked about 6'7", 6'8". So I'll say like he's been getting better though for sure. Like I can see he's been working on his shot. He like I said, when I actually played with him on the family, like he was like a gritty guy. Like I think he would fit Michigan State's play style. Like he was gritty, tough. Wanted the ball, like had a knack for the ball. I feel like he's a great all around guy. And I say like he helped Michigan State out a lot if he decided to come.
He does have a ton of offers on the table. So you were able to get the job done with Jaden. How do you plan to do that with Ty? What's your pitch to Ty? Why is Michigan State the place for him? Like, take us through your recruiting pitch for Ty Rogers.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just starting. I'm just starting out here, so I don't know. I can't really speak on that, but I don't know.
Without a doubt. Well, You got now roughly, I'd say 4 or 5 months until you get out to campus. How excited are you for that? And also, what do you want to improve on and work on before you get out there?
Um, yeah, I'm really excited to get on campus. Just experience, hopefully experience college life. Hopefully this thing will be this pandemic and mask and all this will be gone. But so some stuff I'll work on is just like my overall. I'll say I'm really an underrated passer, but like just trying to be more of a facilitator,
Hmm.
a better defender, and just keep working on my shot. I feel like I have all the tools necessary to drive, like and be like a great asset around the basket. But I feel like me being successful at Michigan State is gonna determine what my jump shot percentages are.
You gotta take me through something that happened in August. I thought it was pretty funny. I know some people kind of look back at it and thought it was ridiculous too, but a lot of rumors started going around that you might be decommitting, relooking at options when you delete a couple posts
Oh
on
man.
Instagram. Take us through that. And when you first started seeing people talk about that, what was going through your mind? Just take us through that time.
At first, I'm like, I'm not the only person that does this. Like, are y'all serious?
Mhm.
And two, like, do any of y'all check Twitter? Like, it wasn't like my Twitter still had like Michigan State basketball. Like, I think us as athletes, we do stuff that y'all might question, but y'all sometimes y'all overdo it. Like, it's Instagram. Like, I never put on my story. I'm decommitting. Nah, I just deleted the post. Like, it wasn't nothing major.
And we both know the higher levels you get, the more and more things people are start finding and want to question and blow up. But so far to your life, was that the funniest or the craziest media experience you've had, or has there been another moment you've looked at something that was shocking, was funny that the media did?
Um, I think my best media experience. I don't really say. I think that's probably my most funniest and most like frustrating one for sure. But
Mhm.
like my best media experience was me when I had dropped 40 on CBS. That was my best media experience for sure.
Mhm.
Because we had played on CBS. I think they were broadcasting the game like on CBS, like playing on the main channel.
And we discussed this a little bit last time, but this is a pretty significant place you decided to do your commitment at least your video at. So kind of take us through why you decided to go to St. Cecilia and commit there.
I had been playing at St. Cecilia all my life since I was a child. It has a great array of players from Jalen Rose to Chris Webber to Isaiah Thomas that all play basketball in that gym. It's the mecca of Detroit basketball. And so I just decided to do it there because of my childhood and all of the players that went there. Steve Smith played at Michigan State. A lot of Detroit legends. So I just decided to do it there because I had like I had um I had memories of like of those guys and like what they did for basketball and like what they did in that gym. So I just decided to do it there.
You mentioned a few times though. I mean, in the whole picture, you obviously are from Michigan. Michigan's a great place, but bring it down truly to where you're truly from. Your identity really is Detroit basketball. What does it mean to be that though? To represent Detroit when you travel outside the state, you go different places. What does it mean to be a Detroit player?
Man, it feels good. I feel like not too many people can say they make it out of here. So it feels amazing, really. I say that I probably have a big chip on my shoulder being from Detroit, but I also carry that chip like wherever I go. So wherever I go, I always claim my city and like I always play gritty and tough, like where I'm from. So that's what I'll say.
When we look at all time, a lot of people aren't familiar with that. They don't realize some many great players come from Detroit. We hear Chicago, we hear New York and the boroughs out there. We hear of places in Florida, we hear Atlanta, Georgia, Texas, Cali, a lot of places. But why do you think it is that Detroit's in a way slept on that people don't really realize how much greatness has really come from there?
I'll say Detroit is really slept on, but I think we have to do a better job of exposing our kids. Like
Mm.
I think growing up, we didn't have a lot of exposure. And not just Detroit, just for all of Michigan. I think we have like the worst amount of exposure. Like I think we should definitely have more exposure. Like we have we have sites and media and things like that. But I think we really need to get like Michigan needs to like put our some of our unknown players on the map. I think we do like a real not a good job of it. So I think that's one thing like as a state and as a city that we need to improve on.
And I made a post a couple weeks ago, and I had Michigan number 5, I believe, in the whole country. And a lot of people didn't understand that, and a lot of people don't even realize you guys have Jaden Hardy from there. You guys have Emoni Bates alongside obviously
Right.
that we know you, Ty Rogers, Jaden, Kobe. A lot of you guys obviously from out there too. But how special is this Michigan group? Like I said, you got 2 guys that I think are top 3 players regards to class in the country, and Jaden and Emoni, all the guys I just mentioned too. How special is Michigan right now, just talent wise?
Michigan talent wise is on the rise. I think we're going to continue to be on the rise, especially with our younger kids coming up. You got many AAU programs like the Family Based Fundamentals and others. Like I feel like Michigan is in great hands. Like over the next few years, because knowing the talent that we got coming from like 2025s and 24s and 26s and all that, like I think that Michigan is in a great spot heading forward.
There's some guys we started seeing creep up on the rankings. Curtis Williams, the guy in 2023. Malik's a guy I'm pretty high on as well. But who else do you see really skyrocketing? Once this 2021 class moves on, who's taking over Michigan?
I don't really know, man. Them all my young bulls, man. So I'm rooting for them all. So I don't really know. I hope they all take over. But my boy, I'm gonna say this. My boy Braylon Green is on, slept on. We played all summer. He looked like a pro. I'm not even going front. He looked like a pro, and I'm not trying to do that for no. Nah, he looked legit. But Braylon is slept on for sure. But my young boys, Curtis, Malik, they my dogs, man. They starting to take over, and I'm pretty sure they both gonna take over Michigan soon.
Without doubt. We'll talk a little bit more about your high school season real quick. One thing is that you're spending your high school career here, and this isn't necessarily a prep school. It's not a national scheduled team. That's what a lot of top guys like yourself like to do. They traveling around, transferring, doing that stuff. We'll let you stay at one school throughout your high school career.
My dad. That's what I say. My dad was my biggest factor. Knowing the situation I'm about to head into with Coach Izzo, knowing that he's a tough coach, I really think my dad has my best interest at heart. And me staying 4 years he's really helping me mature as a person, as a basketball player, and as a man going into college. So I really feel like me staying 4 years with my dad was the best case scenario for me. And I'm not one of those guys that just, you know what I'm saying, our team is trash, so I'm going to just give up. Like, I'm not that type of guy. So I like to stick through it, and I like to push through things. So my dad he just really taught me a lot, just being a man and staying humble and just being a great all-around basketball player, like just the aspects of life, really. Like, I'm not that type of guy to go to 4 or 5 different transfer 4 to 5 different schools. And no, I just wanted to stay at one school. Like, I didn't really want to stress about going to school.
When you think about your dad, give me your 2 favorite memories. One being your favorite memory of him on the basketball court as a coach, and one just kind of living with him, obviously him being your dad. What's your 2 favorite memories that first come to mind when you think about him?
And it's a lot, but him as a coach, I would say in our city semifinal game, we had won by 30, but like it was one of our good, like, best team wins that we had ever had. Actually, I got the dunk to like seal the game. He actually ran onto the court. He gave me a high five and like had this look on his face like we was gonna win. And I think that was one of my best moments. And I say at home, there's a lot of memories at home, but man, I don't even remember. It's a lot at home. I say one of my favorite memories is making him break the controller in 2K, making him smash that thing. He is mad. He is mad. He threw the controller, and he had Brown. He was mad.
So you got your dad playing 2K with you?
He tried to get jiggy with the 2K once every again. He tried to get jiggy with it, but I'm too good.
There's another unique thing about your school. It's an all-male school. Take us through what that's been like.
I'll just say it's like it brings a maturity factor. So like just going to an all boys school, we got plenty of all boys schools in Michigan, like Orchard Lake, St. Mary. I think they just started girls, but they were all boys school.
Mm-hmm.
Orchard Lake, you got De La Salle, like other all boys schools. I really think like it's a maturity factor, but it's also like you can stay laser focused on what you want to do, which is academics and basketball. So it's just a really laser, or I'll just say it's a laser focus and on what you have to do.
There's been many, and I'm sure you're still going to achieve a lot more in the next few months now as you wrap up the season, but you have crossed the 1,000 point milestone. You've crossed a lot of different things so far. What would you say is the biggest thing you've accomplished so far throughout your career, though?
Man, I honestly, I don't really have anything like accomplished in high school. I want to win the city championship. I want to win the state championship. Uh, like accolades that like individual accolades. I really don't care about that. That's on the way. But like I said, I'm worried about winning the city and state championship. That's my main focus, and nothing else is like within the reach. So that's my two biggest goals.
Now, this season was not guaranteed for you guys. We know you guys, a lot of people were doing protests for it. They originally was really going to happen. A lot of crazy stuff was going on about a month or so ago. Take us through that whole process. What was it like learning you guys had a season? How'd you handle it when they first said there won't be one? Just kind of take us through that whole scenario.
Um, us as a state, we stayed positive throughout the whole pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. When we found out they pushed it back the first time, we were a little defeated. But then when they kept pushing it back, like, okay, like when are we gonna play? And I really think what really helped us play was people that went to go peacefully protest at the city hall in Lansing, I think. It's something where the headquarters were, and I just really stated like why we wanted to play and like we'll be safe and keep our mask up. And I commend like whoever went out there because it was a big push for the governor to open it up. So that's what I have.
Because so many people weren't having a season guarantee, we've seen a ton of guys in originally 2021 or whatnot reclass 2020 to go play or just start developing at the program. Was that something you ever discussed with Coach Izzo? Were you ever considering going reclass to 2020 and just heading to campus early?
It was an option. I took a look at it, but I think I still wanted to finish out high school. Hopefully, we're gonna have a high school season. But I would say that like it was an option for sure though. Like I wouldn't say if I wouldn't say I would have gone, but it would have been a major option.
Absolutely. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One of which is the first time I finally got to see you in person. You came out to Pangos All-American camp. You did your thing. Obviously, it was a great showing, but take us through that whole experience and what it was like getting out here, playing basketball again for you, and just being in that environment.
It was great, man. It was great because for one, I got to get in some hot weather. It was very great because it's cold. It's ridiculous down here, Detroit. It's cold, so hot weather. Playing with some of the best guys in the country, like Chet Holmgren, Ahmad Bynum, Malachi. That those are really great players. But I also I feel like I showcased my skills in Arizona. I feel like I had two great games. My first game, I had played pretty good. I played solid, but my second game, I really felt like I showed what I could do. And I really feel like our team was playing unselfish. When we were in Arizona, we were playing unselfish. We were actually like sharing the ball a lot, sharing it more than I thought we were gonna share. Because when people get to camps like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get 40, 30. But no, I think we played as a team. We played as a group, and like I said, I had a great experience down there with especially playing some of the best guys in the country.
I know a lot of guys like to obviously say that they don't really like admitting other guys are good or whatnot, but was there anyone at that camp that you either weren't really familiar with before that kind of impressed you, or you kind of walked away saying, man, that guy's real good?
Man, Nolan Hickman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And when I seen him like on Instagram, I was like, but when I got to watch him in person, he was like, oh yeah, he's tough for sure. Nolan Hickman was tough.
Mm-hmm.
I seen Chet was on my team. When I saw Chet, like I seen him on Instagram, and we had went to the Elite 100 game together, but we didn't play each other.
Mm.
But when I actually like got to play with him and like saw what he did, like his shot blocking ability is crazy, and he has like great IQ. He can push the ball up, and he's like 7'1" with great IQ. So I think those guys really like wow.
Excellent,
Most
man.
definitely.
Well, another thing I was like wrapping up discussing your legacy, and we know now Michigan State's your next step for you. We already know you're leaving so far a great legacy, so a few more months to wrap up this high school legacy. But ultimately, when you do walk away from this game someday, what do you want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court?
On the court, I want to be known as one of the greatest players to ever play basketball. I'm pretty sure if you're not playing basketball for that reason and to be an NBA champion, I don't know what you're playing basketball for.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say like just probably being one of the most hardest workers, being one of the best players on the floor. But off the court, I want to be known as a good person, somebody that gave back, somebody that was willing to give back, somebody that's willing to like be helpful, coach the younger guys, just try to be a mentor in every way I can towards the younger groups.
We see a lot of these guys that are in the NBA come back to their home cities, create an AU team, build a foundation, do something kind of thing like that. Is that something that you would like to do? Would you like to come back and start an AU program in Detroit or Michigan area? Do you want to come build something? Like, is there any kind of dream you want to do when you make to the NBA and come back home?
I wouldn't start my own AU team. I would try to fill myself with the family organization. Just try to like I say work with them. Hopefully put my name on like you know how Tyler Hero they used to be Phenom. I think they changed it to Tyler Hero something.
Mm-hmm.
So like just doing something like that. Just I probably combine with the family for something.
That's awesome. And I know you're also a believer, so kind of discuss your faith a little bit and how God's helped get you to the point you're at today.
Man, God's helped me a lot, especially with me not catching COVID. And I've been trying to stay away from that. He's really been protecting me throughout my journey. Could have been plenty of times where I could have had bad days or bad games or something could have happened, but I feel like God has really been watching me, and like just like I just been praying a lot, and he's just been there a lot.
What's the biggest time you've seen God show up in your life so far?
In Arizona for sure. I say because going into Arizona, I was having doubts like should I be here? And I don't think I'm good enough for but I think like God really told me like yeah you belong here. So I think it's been plenty of times where God has been in my life, but like during the pandemic and stuff like that, I think that's when God really told me like okay you can actually take this somewhere.
Absolutely, man. Well, my final thing for you, give Michigan State fans your three biggest goals you have set for your Michigan State career.
Title, title, title. Besides the title, gotta get Gotta get probably, hopefully, maybe, probably freshman of the year, probably, maybe, hopefully. And probably along the line, probably win Big Ten Player of the Year or something. Hopefully, maybe, probably. But my main goal, and always will be my main goal, is to win the national championship. Nothing else.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today. I'm excited to see what guy you got next for you, man. And best luck the rest of the season and getting out to Michigan State, man.
All right, thanks, bro. Of
course, always welcome on, man. God bless.
All right, you too.